Tuesday, March 17th, 2020, MONERO 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. So Billy is okay. He's just out with my wife and daughter. We went out shopping this morning early, around 7:30, to buy more supplies. I think the UK government is letting the public down. They haven't locked things down like they have in Italy or now in Switzerland. I tweeted yesterday that Switzerland locked the whole country down, I think, for about a month. My sister lives in Switzerland. Both my sisters and my mom, one of my sisters and her husband own a hotel. All the guests are gone. Hotel's closed. It's just my sister and her husband in the hotel. They're prepared, of course. They've got plenty of supplies. Yeah, why is the UK still sending children to school? We went to the shop today, to Asda, and you could see all the children still going to school. My wife said it's probably because they don't want one of the parents to stop working, because if the children stay at home, one of the parents has to be there looking after the child. So I think there's a balance between health and wealth. And right now, we need to look after our health. It's the most important thing. Am I panicking? No. I've been buying more and more things for the last 3 weeks when we go shopping, preparing. And do I have a crystal ball? No, it's just very easy to extrapolate with what was happening in Italy 3 weeks ago and in China. To think that it won't happen in the UK is burying your head in the sand. So yes, we're going to cover the markets this morning, but I think it's getting to the point where the markets will be irrelevant for a while. Not forever, of course. Things will come back. Yesterday was a huge day in terms of the markets. We saw the Dow drop 12%, almost 3,000 points. It was the biggest point drop ever, of course. And it was one of the biggest drops percentage-wise. And that was despite the fact that the Federal Reserve threw everything at the market on Sunday, cutting rates to zero, announcing 700 billion in QE. Unfortunately, I have to say that faith and confidence in the system is being lost. Just like they're locking down countries, people staying at home in Europe, it's going to come to the UK. It might be a little too late. It will come to the US. It's coming to the US. I can see the news. It's going to come to the financial markets. Yeah, it's the time to hunker down, to stay at home, in my opinion, as much as possible. I'm not going to go play golf today. I could go play golf, but I don't think it's the right thing to do, really. You go play with 3 other people or 2 other people. They've been out. You don't know what could happen. So let's quickly look at the markets. It's 9 a.m. London. So we've had a drop back in precious metals. Am I concerned again? No. I'm more concerned now as well with staying safe and healthy. I think you need to hold on to your precious metals. They might not be that useful, or anything could be that useful except your health for the foreseeable future. But at the other end of the crisis, I think things will be fine again, of course. The markets, I don't know. We had a big rally overnight. I think we are up over 1,000 points in the Dow. Right now, we're only up 440. Don't forget, we're down 3,000 yesterday. So it's up 2%. Gold is back down to 1483. The low yesterday was around 1450. The high 1570. We're going to continue to see these wild swings in the precious metals. I did another live stream yesterday. I did one on Sunday, did one yesterday. And a lot of people were telling me that it's very hard to get any physical gold. We need to think about the delivery as well. Are refiners gonna keep going? Are the shipments gonna take place? Who knows? So there might be a shortage of the metal, and I still think the next step will be a shutdown in the financial system. We are as close as we ever gonna get right now to that. So silver right now is at 12.28, down 60. Has been as high as 13.27. But as I said, right now, all these prices become kind of irrelevant. I think you need to just hold on to your precious metals. What about your 401ks, stock market investments? Yes, unfortunately, I heard someone speaking at Davos. Not that I like Davos, the World Economic Forum, but there's a fund manager there from, I think it was Guggenheim in New York. His name was Scott Minerd. And this was over a month ago. And he's very bullish silver. And I think he's right about silver. But he said the stock market is, at the time, I think we're making all-time highs. He said it was way overvalued. He thought, he used an analogy that one of his friends told him about, that stock markets, like in a bull market, is like going up the escalator, and the bear market is going down the elevator shaft. And I think that's what's happening. I don't think we're anywhere close to a bottom, and I think it's going to take months up until next year. We could continue to see a lot of selling in the stock market. Yeah, I think the strategy now is not buy the dip, it's sell the rallies. One of the viewers yesterday in the live stream said that President Trump said that there might be a chance of a recession. I'm sorry, he's way behind the curve there. I think there is a big chance of something a lot worse than a recession. Yeah, that's what people need to understand. The powers that be, they want people to keep playing the game, because if you stop playing the game, their system implodes. And that's the other thing I wanted to talk about. I just saw a story here in the FT, UK to launch business rescue package to fight the sea disease fallout. Sunak, he's the Chancellor of the Exchequer, or the Finance Minister, or Treasury Secretary equivalent. He says, to announce measures after government switches strategy on crisis. When we were at Asda, we were paying for the goods, going through the till. The lady at the till, very nice lady. She was talking to the lady ahead of us who was still doing her, paying for her stuff. We were just behind. And I could hear her telling the other lady, yeah, I don't have a mortgage, but my kids have a mortgage. They're concerned. And I overheard that, and I said, yeah, they should freeze the mortgages. And I said, better yet, they should forgive the mortgages. And she laughed, and I said, yeah, the bankers won't have that, will they? And this is what it's all about. The UK government, the American government, they're not really worried about you. They're worried about the bankers, the people who own them, so to speak. And that's why Boris Johnson is going to help business, but he's not going to help the people that need the help. The majority of people, he's not going to help them. He's going to help business. And unfortunately, that's what you need to understand. Our governments are not there to help us. We need to help ourselves. They're there to help their friends. And unfortunately, I think that it looks like they're going to bail out of a lot of big businesses like Boeing, and the airlines now are calling for a bailout. And I was talking yesterday in my live stream, why should we bail out big corporations who have been borrowing billions to buy back their shares so they can make millions in bonuses? Why should we bail them out? Well, they should fail. And on the other side of the crisis, people that have been prudent and saved and have savings, they should be the ones buying up those businesses. And someone even joked, we could start an airline called Billy Airways, where there's always a silver lining, right? And I agree with that. So, yeah, I think things are getting really unprecedented, so to speak. The best thing to do is to be calm and to stay at home as much as possible if you can. I'm fortunate that I've been doing these videos here for, well, since the end of 2015. It's grown quite a bit, and I'm fortunate that I don't have to go out for work at the moment. So, yeah, things always happen for a reason, as they say. Before I finish, though, I'd like to recommend a book. And I've recommended it before, but months ago. It was actually one of my viewers who recommended it, someone who follows me on Twitter. And it's called The Mandibles by Lionel Shriver. So what's this book about? Why is it important now? Well, because I think what's happening now is very similar to what was happening fictionally, of course, in this book. What's this book about? Well, I'll read the back here just to tell you a brief summary. It says, it is 2029. The U.S. national debt has grown so enormous that it can never be repaid. The dollar is in meltdown. A bloodless international currency war will wipe out the savings of millions of American families. So yeah, we got a dollar crisis, dollar meltdown here. It's a little different, but at the moment, savings are being wiped out through the stock market, right? Their pending inheritance turned to ash. Each member of the formerly formidable Mandible family must contend first with disappointment, then the challenge of sheer survival as they navigate a society in ruin. Am I getting a little bit over the top here? No, I think we need to keep in mind that this could happen, and it could be happening right now. A frightening yet scabrously funny look at a nation's not so distant future from the pen of perhaps the most consistently perceptive and topical author of our times. The Mandibles, a Family, 2029-2047, is Lionel Shriver at her incisive best. So could we be experiencing a Mandible event, not in 2029, but in 2020? Hopefully not. Hopefully this crisis will be sorted out and things will come back to normal. But it's all up in the air. And I wouldn't really put too much trust on what we're told by the powers that be. As I said, they're not looking after your interest. So I bought this book and I think I finished it over a weekend. It's very difficult to put it down. It talks a lot about the financial system, the monetary system as well. It's a really good book. It's also a drama, how can I say, a tragedy as well. It's got all the good things in this book. And I think it will help you understand what's going on, in my opinion. It looks like, as I sign off here, the stock market is actually coming back down very quickly. We're only up 350 now in the Dow. So to finish off, I think, looking at what's happening in other countries, and I know there's a lot of debate about this crisis, but be as it may, there are a lot of people dying in Italy. The rate of the infection is very high, and the problem is also the healthcare systems. If there's a lot of people getting sick from this disease, how are they going to treat other people that have other diseases? That's the other problem we need to keep in mind as well. So there's no wealth without health. I hope I didn't sound very doomsday, but I think one needs to be honest about things, and that's what I try to do in this channel. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the like button, share it far and wide. Think about subscribing to the channel if you haven't yet. And you can also follow me on Twitter, Facebook, BitChute, Steemit, and DTube. I wish you all a great day. Take care. Bye.